Bet you thought he was on the pooper. There. Hi.
Hi.
Karl, what happened to our food plan today? One, we didn't have one.
No, I have a great food plan today.
Show.
This is dried fish. Is this what I call stockfish in English?
I've never heard of the word stockfish except for maybe pieces of fish that you throw in a stew, head and all, to make or in a pot to make soup with it. You'd call a stock, fish stock.
Well, in your friend's Viking game, when they are getting provisions to go from the eastern Norway, both where you live, to western Norway. Not exactly where we live, but close enough. It's basically in the district around Bergen. They are specifically asking for stockfish, and I strongly suspect it's this.
I'm looking it up. Luckily, we have Google. Let's see, I have to mute my phone here.
This will, by the way, drive the cats absolutely bananas.
I was going to say, if we hold the camera back a little bit, you'll see that they're starting to line up here for Karl. Let's see, that way maybe. Okay. And we brought the beautiful plate to put it on. Don't ruin the package too much, I gotta show it. But yeah, no, there's one cat.
Well, this package is meant to be sealed again. Like, if
there's another cat.
If anybody ever just eats this much stockfish and wants to save the rest.
He's licking his lips and that one's at your feet.
No, silly went absolutely bananas the last time I had this. So.
Yeah. Oh my God, does it stink? Here, I'll put some on the plate here. Oh, and Karl is over there. They're lining up like mad. How many cats do we have?
67.
It looks like it. 67. Okay, so this... I don't know if you can see it. I'll turn it around later. No, it's just falling on the floor. Okay. Look at the cats trying to steal it. This is dried fish flakes.
Yeah.
You could make a soup with it, rehydrate them in a soup, and then it's no problem. Let me see your package. That's what she said. Let me see your package, Karl. Lofoten, so it's from Lofoten, not Lofoten. Turfisk Snacks Original. There's a cat. We have the original flavor. 84% protein, 100% recirculated plastic. Very much cats interested. Get out of there, Jesus. Resist.
And these are the cats that doesn't normally steal off the table.
Stop. No, these are the nice cats. What the hell did you do to them? Long time no see. I'm just totally torturing the crap out of them. Fish Chris, what the fuck? That's all sorts of nope, says the Scottish Robert Reynolds. Classic turfisk, classical dry fish. Men den kjente gode smaken, but with the known good taste. 150 grams cod, 30 grams dried fish, whatever the difference is between cod and dry fish, I'm not sure. And then it says here, turfisk er ekte tradisjonsmat og en viktig del av norsk kystkultur. Dried fish is a real traditional food of and an important part of Norwegian coastal culture. I 1000 år har nordmenn tørket fiskefangsten som mat og verdifulle eksportvarer. For 1,000 years, Norwegians, or Northmen in general, have been drying the fish catch such as food and other valuable export items, or exporting goods. This is only something a Norwegian would say about dried fish. Like god I sofaen som I fjæra. Just as good on the sofa as in... What's the fjæra? The pan?
It's not the beach, but it's where the water meets land.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be a beach. It is just down by the water.
He bought cat food. Torsken er naturlig rik på proteiner og B-vitaminer. The cod is cod is naturally rich in proteins and B vitamins. What does that say in there? Really, it's hard to read a white on this. Oh, den smakar gott, and it tastes good. So how much fat is in this? No.
Very little, I would say.
Yeah. No, there you go. And then it also says, yeah, plus iron, jod and B12. Okay. Look, we have the Vaseline too, just in case, Torben.
My mother's father was
Okay.
a fisherman with a small farm, and also
Like you can show it now. They can have it.
and also
You better put more on there, though.
violinist. Hardingfele, to be specific.
Get off the plate. They're all taking it and running away. The third one took one directly from Karl.
And he used to make his own torfisk. And
They take it and run away.
yeah, they did.
Well, they're afraid we're going to take it away from them after I teased them. Sorry.
Yeah, and I absolutely love this.
It is good, but wow, does it smell?
The trick is that you have to put the fish out to dry at exactly the right time, because you don't want insects, but you also don't want it to be frozen.
No.
So it is just fish that is split in half and dried.
You better put more on there. Fish on bone china. I bet you thought this was for you, Karl. It smells like feet, says Torben in big capital letters.
Torben is like an inland person.
Yeah.
He doesn't have this culture, I think.
That explains why his caps lock key is broken.
But one of my earliest memories is sitting with my grandfather out on his porch.
Yeah.
And he had his
Where is it?
torfisk is really... It's there.
Oh, he put it over there.
It's really hard. So he had these two really big rocks that he was banging together to basically make it edible.
Yeah.
And sitting there where he is banging his rocks together and giving me small pieces of fish is one of my earliest memories.
Annette says, what's on the plate? Did Karl kill it in the microwave? Oh, we put this on bone china. This is some wedding pattern plates I had from the... Oh, look at that big piece. It's dried fish. I know you're... Wow. Look at this big piece, too. Oh, my gosh.
Don't
it's
give
just...
all of it to the cats, woman.
No, I'm saving some of it. Yeah, Karl eats it, too. Oh, she just kills it, puts it on the floor. There it goes.
I think Fuzzy is the one that doesn't like it. He just
Yeah?
licks it
Let's
a
see.
lot.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just put this way forward because they're going to be coming to you anyway. She had her lips on
obviously-
that one, though.
This goes enormously well with bear.
Yeah, it does. Which you didn't bring today, by the way. But you do have an Audra beer. That was for the cats. Yours is in here. I just tried to tip it upside down. Fuzzy's up here looking for some more. Zilly's down there.
Let's just say that I'm helping Fuzzy with his part.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Actually, these are really big flakes. We need to break them up a bit, but you could rehydrate them in soup, for example.
That would be blasphemy.
No, it would actually be blasphemy. So what's the difference between dried fish? Okay, so then we saw in the picture there on the how they hang them on those things, or plunk fisk. Plunk fisk is where they nail a fish to a plank and set it like this so it dries. And then they bunk fisk. Then they take a stick and bang the crap out of it when it's dry.
Bunkfisk might be
Called
clipfisk
bunkfisk.
or turfisk. Any fish that is so hard that you kind of have to break it apart a little bit to be able to eat it.
That's good, actually.
But the plank thing, I've never heard about that. So that might be a Swedish thing.
Bunk fisk?
Plank.
Oh, plunk fisk, yeah. No, I learned that first in Norway. Okay. You decide how much you share. I'll distract with the bag. There it goes. It's
Then
good, though.
I'll go and get myself a duel.
A beer. Are you gonna have a Duvel, not the Birzucci? Oh, you have to get a chocolate out of the fridge too.
A chocolate out of the fridge.
A chocolate out of the fridge on the top shelf. There's the outer chocolate. I've been saving it.
Hello.
Yeah.
Don't let her take
Carla.
over.
Come here. Come say hi. Come here. Carla. Oh, Zilly wants one. Carla went with you. Fuzzy? Fuzzy? Come here. You want one, Fuzzy? Come. Carla? It's actually good. Norwegians are crazy. No, but our water pipes froze, so we haven't had water in like, how many days has it been now? 6? 5? So we have water goes out, but it doesn't go in. So we're living out of bottles right now, bottled water. So obviously we didn't want to try to make a bunch of food or whatever, something. So let's see. Yesterday we had pizza. Day before that we had more of the fiskeroting. Today we're gonna have frozen lasagna. Anything that like is already in a container and ready to go. Oh yeah, we had tikka masala microwave food. We're eating like kings these days. Come here, Carla. Come here. You guys, if you want, you gotta come all the way over here. Only the brave shall eat. They're standing behind the camera though. Not had clip fish in ages, said Albert. Oh, you should see the Ordal household. So the klippfisk is like on the meal every day.
No, really, but klippfisk is something entirely different.
Come here, Carla.
Then it is so salty that you could absolutely not eat it like this, because it would taste like pure salt.
No. There you go. Eat and run. Come here, Carla. They're thinking you have it, so they went away.
There is a funny story about klippfisk, or funny in a tragic kind of way. During one of the famines in Africa, Norway decided to try to help out by sending them an enormous amount of klippfisk. But obviously the people down there has no idea what it is. So they thought it was roofing tiles. So they end up putting klippfisk on the top of their huts instead of, well, eating it. But it's also salty as all hell, so if you don't have access to abundant amounts of water, it's not really a good food to give people in a famine situation.
It did say yod on this one, but it doesn't taste too salty compared to others.
No, this isn't salty. It's just, there is no added saltiness. This is just the salt that's in the fish because it lives in salt water.
It's like fish flavored paper. So good. There you go. You can be in charge of that. And you know what would taste better with fish flavored paper? Chocolate!
I'm not so sure.
I don't think that's going to be a good combo. No, I have some Oudre's chocolate. We'll have the Dutch one that she sent us. Dark chocolate, Choco Myths. I love Holland, it says, backwards. Die Klumpen. So this will be... Garcia will be happy with this one. Die Klumpen, which you see on the front there. Clogs or wooden shoes, known as klompen in Dutch, are a commonly recognized symbol of Holland. This actually brings me on to something Viking related. They were created out of necessity during the 13th century as farmers struggled to find footwear that would help them navigate muddy fields. Step by step, klompen became very popular as they were practical, affordable, and water resistant. As a result, factory workers, fishermen, and other artisans started to use them to protect their feet. When shoemaking became industrialized, the iconic clogs gradually became obsolete. Interestingly, the whole foot klomp, whilst historically used as a work shoe, lately received a CE mark and granted official accreditation as safety shoe. So, for any hard tasks ahead, don't forget your wooden shoes. Safety comes first. And I do know Dutch people in Norway that actually use these in their garden. Maybe they're not quite this decorated, but... Now, the thing is, Viking related, I have to ask. I have seen plain ones like these without any markings on, just plain, being used in Viking markets and medieval markets. Is that actually Viking or medieval times? Because I've seen some Vikings use these at footwear, but usually they're the German Vikings.
I don't know. But seeing a reenactor do something is counts for nothing. You have to have a source.
Yeah, no, it's reenactorism, but I was just curious about that.
Because every time somebody does something that is I think is plausible for Viking, everybody else starts doing it too, because this is a bunch of people that have very, very few original thoughts, and they have no filters. So if they can use the argument, yes, but they do it at Borra, they do it at Sarpsborg, they do it at Gudvangen, they do it at Bjørgvinmarknad, then that's more than enough for them. They don't understand how Google works, and they don't know what the source is. I don't know one way or another. But if I wanted to wear wooden shoes, I would certainly find out.
Let's see, I had to reload my page here so I can see. But is it, yeah, I was just going to say, but is it Viking or medieval? Maybe, yeah, but, and some of them will just be like a leather clog with a leather strap that goes over the foot.
Yeah,
but Roger uses, or Roger uses them, but that's...
yeah, that's what I just said.
Because he's not tall enough, but he doesn't use them in his Viking gear.
What people do isn't an argument for whether or not it was done 1,000 years ago.
It's apt T. Okay.
It sounds plausible, but if they did, there would be fines. And for all I know, there might be hundreds of them, but I just don't know.
Klumpen, die Klumpen. History. Well, actually, now it shows me just Die Klumpen market. Somebody who makes the wooden shoes in Holland gives me its address. Let's see. Wooden.
There you are.
Dutch shoes history. How far do they go back? We do have Garcia in the chat, though. She would know. Originated around 13th century as durable, affordable, and waterproof footwear for farmers, fishermen. This is what AI says, and factory workers. With the oldest pair dating to 1230, so that's after the Viking Age. So that wouldn't work then. The oldest known clogs were discovered in Amsterdam and Rotterdam, dating from 1230 to 1280. So that is after the Viking Age. Not long after, but that's after.
I would say that 200 years is pretty long, but...
Yeah, nowadays term. Yeah, it is. Okay. No, a lot's happened in the last 200 years. Are you attracting cats?
Yeah. She doesn't want the pieces I tried to give her. She wants to steal them off the plate.
Yeah, I know. It's the same with you.
Everything tastes better when it's stolen.
Meanwhile, Fuzzy's camped out behind the camera. He won't come close. And Zilly's kind of going back and forth over there, but he stole a couple of big pieces.
But this is probably
Fuzzy.
a fairly authentic Viking food.
Yeah, that I could say would be a safe bet. It's easy to transport. Fish on you. You could easily take that on long voyages. It would. You just had to keep it dry.
Yep. And it lasts practically forever.
There was something else I was going to look up. What was it? Since I had Google on hand. I forget. See, Audra's here. Garcia's here. Torben is here. PJ's here. I couldn't. I had to laugh at this one. PJ says, evening, I just made myself a stack of pancakes to munch while watching. And I said, I'm jealous, PJ, because Karl brought fish flakes. It's so hard to be Norwegian. Anyhow, I stand by that comment, by the way.
I absolutely love this stuff.
It is really good. It's expensive, though, believe it or not. Considering you don't have to...
It's comically expensive. So I really want to make my own, but...
Yeah, we should, but how would you do that with fish? I mean, with cats around.
Well, you have to keep them away from cats, obviously.
Yeah, but that's not easy in this house.
No, you're not...
You've got like 1, 2, 3 right next to you. They're all looking just out of camera shot.
Do you think people dry fish indoors, woman?
Well, they got mice outside, so where would you dry it? I saw they dry them over the thing on the big long... But how do they keep the seagulls from stealing them? When they dry their fish.
They're too massive for a seagull to actually eat it.
Packing on this thing.
I'm not really worried about that. What I'm more worried about is seagulls pooping on it. Because those racks very much look like something a seagull would like to sit on to have a high vantage point, and I poop. Like a lot.
Okay, you get the rest. You get the rest of the fish flakes. Okay, well it was kind of pretty, but I broke it. It's in 3 pieces, but we can try to fix it.
The cats will try to steal fish in 3, 2, 1.
No, there they come. There you go. That was the piece of chocolate from Holland. There goes a cat. If I put it over here. Oh, careful, she doesn't knock that wobbly glass. You have your wobbly glass.
Do you have something super important connected to this?
Yes, I do. Put it in there. The gimbal and the phone will die. Top one.
That's what she said.
Put it in. Here, Carla. I don't know why I find bottle caps on the floor all the time.
Oh, these are two of Carlos' favorite things.
Beer and fish chips.
Yep. Specifically Belgian beer and fish chips.
Oh. They don't want to be on camera, but they have, you're like all around it. Otherwise, you cannot have the chocolate. There's like one right there and one right there. You're popular. Here, hold that. And he's having his Duvel. We didn't have time to go and get some new ones. So Belgium representing. Let's see. Okay, I'm having the chocolate though, and then I'm going to catch up more on comments. Because would you like chocolate with your fish and beer?
No.
I am having chocolate. She's like, I don't know if you can see that. You're so popular. And then she throws it on the floor. Okay, we'll move this a little closer then. You can have a nice close-up of Karl and his beer and, me. On the pretty bone china. Okay. Torben says 30 centimeters of snow, and we built a snowman in Loftus, by the way. Also made a spectacular crash on my son's snow racer, and I'm getting too old for this shit. I like to forget the fact that the previous snow that we had gotten had packed down into like hard ice. And then we got new snow, which fell on that. And it's about this much, I think we got. Anyway, loose snow that fell on top of the... And then I'm wearing shoes that are not meant to be worn outside in the winter. They're like, they might as well be skis, because there's so much powder, you just step right through the powder and then whoosh.
Yeah. It was kind of surreal this morning, because I say Karin can barely walk, and I'm walking normally.
Yeah.
No issues whatsoever.
No, but you have shoes with traction. I have shoes that are literally not meant to be outside. They're not. They're the ergo or whatever shoes. They have really good arch support, but they're not meant for. Okay, more. PJ says you can definitely keep the fish flakes. Torben says fish flakes, like as in the stuff you feed fish in the aquarium. Pretty close. Outer says, oh, the snow is just perfect for a snowman. I had planned to take out my woolen dress for the snow, but the snow was too wet for that. Oh, she wants to build a snowman. Frozen, do you want to build a snowman? Come on. No? You never watched Frozen? Frost?
No.
In Norwegian, Frozen in English? With Elsa and Anna and the whole inspiration of Norwegian bunad and Arendal?
No.
Clearly he doesn't have kids. Or two girls. That were 5 years old when Frozen came out. Num num with lemon juice and erythritol. Am I saying that? Almost as nice as sugar. Erythritol? What is that? I have to look it up. Erythritol? Health risks. Oh. Versus stevia. Whatever it is 60 to 70% as sweet as table sugar, but almost completely non-caloric and does not affect blood sugar or cause tooth decay. And then there's like a whole bunch more. Okay, so it's like a sweetener.
It's a lippity.
Yeah, lemon would be good on this. Let's see.
Hey, you don't have to steal, you little psychopath. There you are.
And there's Outer saying fish flakes. Oh, they are actually really good. Peach says I didn't have time to cook any pancakes on Shrove Tuesday, so oh yeah, that's like a Lent thing. I forgot about Shrove Tuesday. We're in Lent by now, by the way. If you're Catholic practicing or one of those people who observe Lent, I've got to say I forgot all about this because I haven't really attended church in 40 years. But we used to have to give up things for Lent every year or do something for Lent every year. Mainly it was no meat on Fridays. So then McDonald's came out with the Fish Friday.
Hey, that's yours.
Let's see. So decided to have them tonight, she said. Robert says, I thought the same thing as Torben, just thought it was a Norwegian thing, but you're asking as well about the fish flakes. PJ says to Robert, though, this is England speaking to Scotland. Fish flakes means fish food to me as well. I used to have an aquarium. Yeah, no, it is actually the aquarium food for fish is actually called fish flakes as well. I didn't think about it. But what was it called on the package that the cats totally... No, there it is.
It's called tørrfisk.
It's just called dry fish. Dry fish snacks. But they're flakes of fish. So, it was literal. More like a snack, says Torben. He says, well, there is one thing made of dried fish. It's supposed to replace potato chips or crisps, but not for dinner. More like a snack. And it smells like feet. And then PJ went nuts. Fish crisps? And Torben says, yes, fish crisps. Okay, so we're going with the crisps versus chip thing here. Torben says, my aunt bought a bag of this on the bus one time, and she was thrown off. Oh, you're not wrong. My kids love these, especially one kid. And this was something that was absolutely no problem, having a kid run around with a bowl of it and eating it in a Viking village. A Viking kid dressed up as a Viking. So I let her get, every time we came to Gudvangen, it was a treat. They're not cheap, but I would buy her a little bag of this. And under one condition, it may not be stored in the Viking house because you can't get rid of that smell. It is so strong. So she used to have it in a little container with a lid on it, and it was in the...
I think there is
those were her goal, the fish chips.
I think there is a line that goes around the highest peaks in Norway.
Yeah.
And people that live to the west of that line can't smell it. And people who live to the east of that line are seriously allergic to that smell.
Yeah.
I've seen people from southern and eastern part of Norway go completely berserk as soon as they can smell even the vaguest hint of this.
What's going on with my phone?
And it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah. Sorry, I just have to fix this. My phone keeps flashing the volume button. But I can see that they can hear us, obviously, and the microphone is on, but it's because the gimbal is pushing on the button on my outside of my phone. Now it's not flashing at me anymore. So if you were wondering why I did this... Nothing
Fresh
to do with you.
Fish smells a hell of a lot more fishy than dried fish.
Yeah, it lingers like a cooked cabbage, though. Holy crap. But fresh fish...
I am not bothered by cooked cabbage either.
Oh, that's one way to make your house smell like a fart. Anybody who grew up with Polish food, Polish cooking.
Are you sure this is just not because the Polish fart a lot?
No. It's... Oh, there's the package. I have to put the package on the floor to save the table. They're starting to attack the package. That package, by the way, it will be shredded into 1 million pieces. You cannot just take that packaging and put it in the garbage with 3 cats around. Not even with one. It's just not going to happen. They will take it out of the bag, dump everything else in the garbage that was in the garbage as well, just to get at the bag. And then they will chase the bag all over the house and rip it to shreds. So you have to literally put it on the floor and let them have their way with it before putting it in the garbage. Did you get the bag? Let's see. Where am I at here now? Prude is here. She says hi. Warm and wet here today. I'm really far behind, by the way. But yeah, no, I can definitely see why Torben's aunt was thrown off the bus. You do not open that bag anywhere in public. Audra says dry fish is very good with a lot of butter. Oh, yeah, that could be good. What do you just butter it like a cracker, though, or?
I wouldn't use butter, but...
Anytime you cook fish, you have to have butter, though.
Audra is living in Trøndelag, right?
Yeah. Trondheim.
And as we know from our co-workers, they have a religious relationship to their butter.
Oh, this is true. Do you want to explain that one, or?
We can literally butter one of our co-workers with actual butter to get him to drive us.
But you got to get him the røros butter, the kind that has salt in it and it's made,
Yep.
It's really good. Would you stop? The bag is on the floor. Here, you want this one too? Okay.
You probably have about the same reaction if you call margarine butter to a person from Trøndelag as you do when you call Prosecco champagne to a person from Champagne.
This is true. Hadili set us here. Hello. Heidi's nephew, Ulla, is really speaking a lot today. What did we teach him now? We're trying to teach him how to speak.
No, he speaks and it makes sense.
He's what, 1.5?
For the most part, but it's like one word here and there. And some of his words are very similar. So like book and boat is pronounced what? Both of them.
Book, yep.
But he was saying my name. He was saying book. He was saying boat.
Yeah, we got him to say Karl. Like it's Karl. Karl.
My personal favorite, they're doing a movie thing in the village now. So every time he hears the director yell action, he yells action 2 at the top of his lungs.
Does he? At the top of his lungs? I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's going, action!
And he's a little movie star. They're film. Okay, we're allowed to say this because it's all over social media. Dark Skulls, which is a crowdfunded film, is filming in the village. So you have to look up Dark Skulls. It's a psycho Viking thriller. We've decided all of the people on that movie set are psychotic, so it's perfect. No, they're not. No, they're nice anyway, but it's creating a lot of fun. So there's a lot of extra Vikings running around the village today, including Ulla, little Ulla, and of course Heidi's brother and sister-in-law. Let's see. Okay, more. And with their props too, by the way. I walked by a pile of puke and I'm looking at the director going, "You're cleaning that." He said, "It's a prop, Karin." And I'm like, good. It was actually like this plastic piece of thing that looked like puke on the ground. Just like, anyhow. Lyra's here. She says, hello everyone. After a week of warm weather, it snowed last night. I don't know anymore. Hello from Kansas. They had a big snowstorm in Duluth. That was a couple of days ago, I guess, anyway. And that one actually was enough to knock out the power. And then I'm seeing nothing but roaring images of on my Facebook feed from of Lake Superior. And then also the before and after pictures, a nice calm lake. And then the lake completely, or at least the harbor part, completely covered with snow. Because that... Do you hear?
She,
whining and drinking at the same time.
It's kind of dry, so she probably wants something to drink when she has had a lot of tough fish. And then she wants to complain at the same time, and then you get that song.
Are you looking for the fish? He's looking for the fish.
It's...
I think they killed it.
I think we can put that plate directly back into the cupboard. We don't need to wash it. It is clean.
We're going to wash it. 86 kroner was it for that little teeny tiny bag? How many grams?
Yeah.
I couldn't quite see. 30 grams, I think it is. Anyway.
I want to make this for myself. I think it is more profitable than the drug trade.
It probably, actually, yeah. But you are not making that anywhere near the inside of this house or outside of the house.
Nobody makes it inside the house, woman.
Nowhere near the property. Go do it in the Viking village.
What do you think would happen if I just hang a fish from the roof inside the warmed house?
It would be gross. By the way, so we actually did have fish hanging in the village once, and they were trying to dry it, and that didn't work out very well because the Vikings kept going by and stealing. So there was nothing
It's so
left.
good.
It is really good.
This is the dumbest. This is probably the dumbest idea that I've ever had. And
it was because a fisherman came by and had too much.
You should understand this. Somebody, I don't know exactly what was going on with this guy. I think he basically bought a ticket with Kubbesild.
He did. He came in and he said, I have a bunch of extra fish. Do you guys want it? And I'm like, let me just stamp your hand, go in the village, have fun.
And it is super
because
good.
This is it was really good.
Fat brown...
mackerel, wasn't it?
No, silt.
It was silled, okay.
Herring.
Herring. Yeah.
And it is delicious. And I want to hang it up as decoration. And it's like, okay, but you have 20 of them.
You can't just leave it sitting in a box on the table.
You have 20 of them hanging here. I won't notice if it's all of a sudden 19. And then I come back half an hour later. Well, it's 19 of them hanging here. I won't notice if it's all of a sudden 18. And I'm not the only one.
Runa was one of the biggest sinners. Yeah, but there's so many. They won't miss one.
I think we ate
or
up
another
the
one.
Whole,
I think we
ate up the whole decoration in like 3 days.
I got one picture for a YouTube thumbnail. So if you go back a couple of years and you see like this green wall of the Chieftain Hall with fish hanging on it, that was me getting a picture of it before it was gone. But I think there were already 2 missing when we took the picture. That guy, by the way, can come back and visit the village anytime as long as he's got his fish with him. Oh, but it was so funny. Everybody just kind of walks by and like... Yeah.
It's food, not decoration.
No, but it made such a hit with the tourists. They're looking at that going, oh, that's kind of cool, but aren't you worried about... What? Flies? No, that's fine. Do you actually eat that? No.
That's the thing. These people from Eastern Norway who don't understand shit. It's
Those
like
Americans too.
I was eating dried fish, and one comes up to me and says, "But it's hanging outside. Flies are stepping on it." And I go, "Yeah, but you eat strawberries, don't you?"
Seagulls are pooping on it.
And the strawberries also grow on the bloody ground where everything poops.
Mm.
These hang on the wall.
Or actually, we don't usually hang them up against the wall. Usually they're like free hanging. So there was a little bit of a gap. But then the chieftain decided that he was going to encourage that everybody ate them because the chieftains all smelled like fish for weeks.
Yeah, no, but that's again, you don't take them inside.
No, that's right. He wanted to take it inside, and then he quickly regretted that and put him back outside again.
He's from Eastern Norway.
Yeah, that was funny.
I don't understand. But not to find a point on it, up until we discovered oil, this country was built on fish. So people who are too fancy to like the fish smell, I find their lack of fight disturbing.
Fight or faith?
Both.
Yeah, I gotta catch up more. Fish Chris, what the fuck? That's all sorts of nope, says Robert Reynolds. Well, they're not actually chips, or crisps. It's just flakes. Let's see. Stockfish, says Garcia. Dried fish to keep it for a long time. Rehydrate and prepare and eat. There you go. It could be a bit like that, but this one is... You could rehydrate it. There's no problem with it. You can just put it in a...
Yeah, but why would you? You have fresh fish that you can put in your soup.
Because if you're on a long boat journey and
you all of a sudden have a lot of fresh water you want to get rid of?
Mm-hmm. We saw a movie last week. They could just store it underneath a boat in the hull. Because Viking ships had hulls, right?
Well, some of them kind of do, but not like that.
No. This chocolate's really good, by the way. Oh, Osman is here. Hey, Osman. Skål. I'm having tea.
It's so for me today.
Mm. Let's see. Yeah, Ashley says, hey, I buy those for my cats. Just the American version. Gourmet food for cats, by the way. It costs like 3-4 times more than just a little bag of the wet food. It's really good.
But you saw the effect as soon as I...
You didn't even have the bag open. You just held it in your hand.
I had opened like a centimeter.
You can open that?
So the silly could feel the smell. So his nose was like here immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And the silly and fussy are the cats that don't normally steal off the plates.
Oh, too much chocolate now.
I can eat something that I actually love.
It's good though.
And I will just kind of glance at the plate and then go to sleep underneath it. I don't beg and I don't steal. Normally. There are 2 exceptions, and that is a particular type of sushi that silly will steal.
Yep.
And this.
Yeah. Zilly likes sushi. Godzilla has Zilly. By the way. Lindsay says, Bonito flakes are awesome for cat treats. PJ says, I finished my pancakes. They were lovely and definitely did not smell of foot. I am a little jealous.
Like foot.
Well, according to Torben, they do, and he's Norwegian, so he ought to know.
Well, that says more about his feet than my fish.
Albert said, tried after concert yesterday. What did I miss? Tired after concert yesterday, I would imagine. Which concert did you go to, Albert? Maggie's here from Colorado. Anetta's here. Anetta goes adventures, by the way. She does online guiding. Is Karl microwaving fish and chips? Laugh out loud. No, we didn't want to have dishes today, so we're having frozen lasagna and frozen garlic bread because the pipes froze, so we don't get water
That's
in.
a thing. It's not exactly microwavable, but it's one thing I'm wondering if it's a typical Norwegian thing or if it is something that everybody does.
What?
Fiskepinner.
Oh, fish sticks. Yeah, no, we have those in the United States. My kids in the beginning, they didn't like fish, but they would eat fish sticks because that's not the
fish.
same. Yeah. But I was kind of the same when I was a kid too. Cod fish sticks, it's just breaded and fried or something, fried or baked, however you want to make them. But yeah, I'm assuming that's
They're
everywhere.
like,
At least it was where I grew up anyway.
They're like breaded and fried.
Yeah.
We usually just made them in the pan with butter.
Yeah, you can do that, or you can put them in the oven like fries too, or something. You'd make them basically the same way you would frozen French fries. Oh, and then we're getting kind of we're getting luxurious in Gudvangen now. Our little grocery store / gas station now has frozen mozzarella sticks. I've never seen those in Norway before, actually.
Those guys will order in anything we promise to buy.
Yep.
And we are not really taking advantage of this.
Vanilla flavored cottage cheese. No, I got them to order in pumpkin and vanilla flavored cottage cheese this time. I never heard of vanilla flavored cottage cheese.
And I got them to order in my type of iced coffee. They didn't used to have the green one until I had a talk with them.
Karl is responsible for depleting the supply of Brazilian iced coffee all over Norway.
Apparently, they only have one machine in Norway that makes them, and that machine broke down twice last year.
Yeah.
Karl
went through withdrawal.
Yeah. So my caffeine tolerance was basically, for a short while, that of a normal person.
It's kind of funny. So I ran over in the morning to the grocery store to go and grab something for breakfast or whatever, and I come back, and then Karl looks at me in the hallway. Is there any iced coffee in that bag? And I'm like, no, because I forgot now, didn't I? And then I kind of kept on doing my thing. And then I had to, we had a lot of snow in the village, so I took a bunch of pictures for them to use for social media. And then Karl comes into the office while I'm sitting here sending him back to our social media girl. And he's like, did you get any iced coffee yet? And I'm like, no, but maybe when I finish this. And then he plays one more time in the hallway. He finds me, and then I go over, and Per Steiner, who owns the gas station, is like, you got your ice? And I said, the contractions are getting closer and closer together now. And he's like, you don't have iced coffee for Karl? What were you thinking? I don't know. As I get myself a coffee. Okay, we're still on the fish stuff here, though, because I'm way far back.
She finds me in the chieftain hall because when Georg isn't here, we kind of work in shifts on covering his station. And she gives me a box of iced coffee, and I go, yay, iced coffee!
And then the tourists walk in the door. We had a lot today.
I had a bunch of Asians, so I can't very well drink an iced coffee in front of them. So I'm standing around talking to them with my iced coffee hidden under my cape like this.
But didn't you feel better that it was near you?
Yes.
That you had it, you were holding it in your hand?
But when I'm dealing with people who clearly don't speak English, I was really happy when I left.
I don't know if they just didn't speak English or if you just scared the crap out of them. Now, imagine this. We have this dark chieftain hall that's only lit with candles, and it's not quite, especially when there's snow outside, fresh snow, it's all bright white outside, and then you go in and it's completely dark. And then out of the door, you hear just like, and that walks out. He scared the crap out of him. And he's like, welcome to the chieftain hall. And they're like, door. He says, what? I didn't want to scare them, so I tried to make a little noise. I shuffled my feet a little. Nosferatu of the Vikings over here. No, that was, they were...
That's tricky, but in my defense, Georg does this all the time, too.
Yeah, but Georg doesn't look like you. Georg looks like a flippin' Santa Smurf. You, on the other hand, do look a little bit like Nosferatu.
Yes, but when the Santa Smurf is sitting on his throne, and they're walking into the dark chieftain hall, and I don't see him, and he is right in front of them, and he all of a sudden looks up.
It looks like a display doll, and then... Anybody can disappear in that hall. Let's see. Torben says Torben is half Møring, excuse me, burped. Half my family is from an island outside of Kristiansund, which is south in the southern part of Norway. Very southern tip of Norway, is it not? Kristiansund or Kristiansund? What's the difference?
No, I think we are talking about is Sand and Sund. We have Kristiansand in the south and Kristiansund in...
yeah, he wrote Sund, so that's what I was going to say.
Yes, and since he points out that there's half Møring, he's probably talking about the one at Møre.
Okay, so what does Møring mean? I was going to say, Møre is a part of Norway? I'm going to have to show
at the coast of Norway, in what's specifically the western part of Norway, you used to have 4 major counties. You have Rogaland, where
Stavanger
in
area.
the extreme south. Then you have Hordaland, where Bergen is. Then you have Sogn og Fjordane, which is here, where the Sogning, and Nordfjording and Sunnfjording live. And then you had Møre og Romsdal. And that goes Sunnmøre, Romsdal, Nordmøre. But the people living in Nordmøre are basically people from Trøndelag because they speak the same dialect and have nothing in common with the Sunnmøring. The people from Sunnmøre, that's the area around Ålesund, Kristiansund, and those places, they have a reputation for being almost magically capable of making and saving money. So I talked to an old guy. It was a guy who tried to kind of race me when I was traveling with my father's boat, and I beat him just barely. And then he comes up and talks to me and says, yes. Now you should know that I have 2 more cylinders I could use. I could have caught up with you if I wanted to. And I go, okay, that's an interesting dialect. Are you from Sunnmøre? And he goes, no, I'm from Romsdal. But you can say what you will about the people from Sunnmøre, but they would make money even if you nailed them to a wall. And I go, okay, interesting.
Where was it your mother was from?
Flister.
Flister. Okay, and Flister and Selje are how far apart?
4 rifle shots.
4 rifle shots away, but yet they might as well be worlds apart in ethnicity, according to Karl. Would you like to...
And ethnicity is pretty much the same. Culture is very different.
Yeah, 4 rifle shots away. Flister, okay, but explain. What's the difference between someone from Selje and someone from Flister?
The most clear difference is how you would eat your dessert.
Yeah.
So is your rice cream, you know what that is? Right?
Riskrem? Yeah.
Is that supposed to be hot or cold?
Well, I think it's the first time you eat it, and cold when you decide to turn it into a dessert on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, but when you call it riskrem, is it hot or cold?
Riskrem, I would think cold, but it has to be heated the first time, or the rice.
Yeah, but then it's still risgrøt.
Risgrøt, yeah, versus riskrem. Sorry. Okay, yeah, risgrøt has to be hot.
So you don't preheat your dessert?
No.
Then you're not from Flister.
Okay, and that's it? That's the whole thing that warrants rifle shots and...
so much more.
I would like to hear some of these stories.
If I ask you, what is plukkfisk? What would you say?
Plukkfisk would be the rest of the meat on the bone after... So if you were going to cut fish fillets, etc., there might be a little bit of meat left on the bone and around here and there, the head, the neck, the tail, whatever. That's when I would pick it up, and that would be plukkfisk.
Well, what most of Norway considers to be plukkfisk is pieces of fish and potato boiled in white sauce.
Okay.
Unless you're from Flister.
Unless you're from Flister.
Then it is pieces of fish, potato, and kålrot turnips.
Yeah.
And you fry the fuck out of it.
Fry the fuck out of it. This is like the Hatfields and the McCoys with you guys. What else you got? Tell me some good redneck gossip or Flister Selje gossip.
Oh, but
I want to hear the good stories.
They generally get along pretty well. Even back in the day, people from Flister and Selje don't really have a problem with each other.
Yeah.
Because there are like 3 farms in Flister. At most, there probably lived about 40 people there. So it's not like a local superpower or anything.
Yeah.
But these people don't necessarily get particularly well along with each other. So my grandfather, the guy I mentioned earlier, my mother's father, the guy who made the tørrfisk, he had these notebooks that he kind of used as his dogbook,
diary,
where he kind of writes small notes. It's mostly about the weather and fish, but sometimes something happens that is so important that he has to write it down. And back in the 60s, you have like weeks and weeks of the weather is nice, the mackerel is coming, the weather is nice, Then you have Christopher tried to shoot Leif today. The weather is nice. And then 2 weeks later, you have the police came and took Christopher's rifle away today. The weather is nice.
Okay, so what's the biggest gossip, one of the most salacious gossip that came out of Selja? So, you know, a long time ago or current, whatever. Biggest gossip. The only one I could think of is the hotel, but there's got to be something.
The hotel is a bunch of criminals burned down the hotel to collect the insurance money and thereby basically kick the legs under the entire tourism industry. And
That was what, like 10 years ago?
Oh, no, not even. Yeah, fuck me. It's getting close to 10 years ago.
Yes, it is.
It's the year before I started working here, and I worked there for 9 years. So it is 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But
it turns out that there's an interesting spin on that. What did they find on the property? The hotel property after all the ashes?
Well, when they started to build a new hotel, they had to do an archaeological excavation before they started the building project. And they found what's probably the remains of the some of the oldest, if not the oldest, permanent settlements in Norway. So very, very early signs of farming instead of moving around to hunt animals.
Yeah.
So Neolithic times.
So a little bit of positivity came out of that.
But when it comes to Selja and gossip, back during the war, the Germans had the kind of strongholds out at Stadlandet, at the very end of the peninsula, and in Måløy. So they didn't have anybody permanently in Selja, but there lives a lot of people in Selja. So at one point, when it becomes illegal to have radios, they send a group of German soldiers to Selja to collect all the radios and lock them in the vault of the bank. What they didn't do was to collect all the keys to the vault of the bank. So what the locals kept doing throughout the whole war is that they find a battery, they charge it, they walk up to the guy who has the key and says, "Hey, we're going to listen to the news, do you want to come along?" And he says, "Yep, sure." And then they lock themselves into the vault, and then they just sit there and listen to the radio from London, and then they go back out again. That isn't exactly salacious gossip, but it's a true story about something that happened.
All right, now the most salacious gossip in Flister.
I would have to say that's
4
the saga.
rifle shots away.
That's the saga of Leif and Christopher who tried to murder each other.
Yeah, that was a pretty good saga, actually. Now, why did he?
Because the thing is, Flister has one good side. That's the side that gets sunlight. And it has a side that doesn't get sunlight. So there is a very old agreement between the farms on the sunny side and the farms on the not sunny side. That only the farms on the not sunny side is allowed to put up a note. It's a particular fishing instrument to basically catch fucking everything. It's like a trawler, but you use it with several boats and from land. They are the only ones that are allowed to put up one of those in the inner part of the bay that Flister is around.
Yeah.
So what happened is that Christopher discovered that Leif, who lives on the sunny part of the sunny side of the bay, is putting up some kind of fishing instrument behind the marker where he is not allowed to put up fishing instruments. So he takes his Krag Jørgensen rifle, climbs up on his roof, uses the edge of the roof as a rest for his gun, and starts shooting. He claims that he was trying to shoot the flotation devices so that he would lose his fishing equipment. But Leif is very much convinced that, and this is his brother, by the way, genuinely tried to murder him. The police were uncertain, but they decided it was safer for Christopher not to have a gun for a while.
Ah, the days and the gossip of rural Norway. I mean, I have to say, though, the whole the sunny side being jealous over the winter side or whatever. I can living in a valley with no sunlight for a good 3 months or 4. I get it.
Saw the sun today.
We did. I tried to take a picture of it.
I didn't.
Actually, no, it was on the ground, and I saw it through the window. It was gleaning off of a car, and I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna go and look. I'm gonna go take a picture of it. And then there's like Viking, baby, another Viking, some film guy,
and
another
Karin,
person getting dressed. I'm like, get out of the way! I need to get a picture of the sun. And then I
Karin
finally
is
get out the door.
Just like every American politician, she has to kiss every baby and shake every Freeman's hand.
I wasn't, but they were all kissing their own babies and shaking Freeman hands and whatever when I just need to get out the door in this way to be able to take a picture. But it was like Viking, baby, another Viking, some actor, some film person, some makeup artist, another one there. And then I get out and it's like cloud.
And just body slam them.
I did actually. I body slammed one. I think Louisa gave me a dirty look. I was ruined. I think I body slammed.
I would understand it if it was the baby, but
No, but Runa's like, you're not looking, Karen. You're not looking. And then I realized, you got a new tunic. Great. And he's just. Yeah, this is what goes on in the Viking village. No, but I can get the arguments because, you know, the people without the sun, they get kind of cranky. We see all kinds of crazy going on in the winter here. And the people with the sun are like,
But I kind of had that agreement because the people on the not sunny side is much more dependent on fishing to survive than the people on the sunny side. It's...
What are we up to about? 30 minutes, 40 minutes of sun now?
I don't know, because I haven't seen the fucking thing.
And then there's your sister that goes up to the house and Sally and sends photographs. Look at the big sunlight. And we're like...
the sun comes up after 2 o'clock. And we close the village at 2 o'clock and basically leave it in the hands of the film crew.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go in there and mess with their things. And I also have things to do kind of backstage.
Yeah.
So I'm never out when the sun is up. I'm sometimes out when the sun should be up, but then you have clouds that kind of fuck with that horrendously.
Let's see. Torben says, by the way, earlier, Karl came with a beard, rolling tobacco, sipping on a nice coffee, and reading a book about the fall of the Roman Empire. This is when we were talking about the creepy guy that kind of went, the chieftain's hall and came up. Probably could have. No, and then as Purdue was saying, yep, for a while, as far as the sun goes. And then Albert says, the fact that it was Krieg, war, meant that he was a reserve in the army, I think. I'm a little bit slow on the chat here. So he needed the rifle. Do you know what that's referring to?
No.
The fact that it was the Krog. Okay, yeah, it was a typo.
No, those things actually very little, in a very literal sense, grow on trees.
Really?
This is one thing that really warms my heart every time I come across it. In the American magazine Guns and Ammo, they occasionally decide to sit down and write about the Krog.
Yeah.
And they're always praising it to high heaven. So I've seen them write things like, I really wish I could make something like this today.
Yeah.
But with the average Norwegian hourly wage, it would be so expensive that I couldn't afford it. But I still wish I would make it. The Krog is kind of a unique, unique-ish weapon. But back in the...
Who gave her fish?
Back during the Second World War, this type of rifles were battle rifles that was kind of the standard equipment of soldiers.
Yeah.
But we moved away from that to things with higher magazine capacity and higher rate of fire. So these rifles kind of, the Krog and the Mauser, the German Mauser, which they probably left behind like 600,000 of those in Norway when they surrendered. Mm. So the Krog and the Mauser in Norway, they literally grow on trees.
Oh, wow.
You have... I know people...
Oh, God. You're going to get my YouTube
who
blocked.
have like 10 of those. And these are not super rich gun nuts. These are normal people.
Did they get it off a tree?
Well, kind of.
Hi, Carla.
Hey, Pissy.
Somebody had fish.
She is a little bit hyper.
I think Radisby cooks like I do. damn it, I thought my dinner would be done by now, but I never turned on the stove. This sounds like something I did not too long ago. Why are the noodles not boiling? They should never take this long. Oh.
There is also a lot of modified versions of these weapons. I'm kind of a purist, so I think that you shouldn't mess with classics. But a lot of hunting rifles in Norway used to be military krags or military Mausers that has just been rebuilt by somebody.
I see why she's got a lot of spring in her step. She left a pretty big load over there somewhere. Holy crap. So she's a little...
She can poop like the best of them.
Little cat, lot of poop. Holy crap though, Carlet. My God. Albert says at Sula alone they had a storage of Kar 98s. If I said that right, after the war, that was 300,000 of them. There were 300,000 of them.
Yeah.
Like father, like cat says. Yep. No. Karl was like, I was gonna go get lunch. Okay, so this is another. My brain is somewhere else. So we go to the grocery store after 2 o'clock, trying to find the son, and to pick up something to eat for lunch. I don't know, something quick. Anyway, and then we sit there and go, oh God, maybe we should get something for YouTube. Is there anything we can get for YouTube? We can't cook. We don't have any water. I don't want to do dishes. What else can we get? And so after much of this, we figure out what we're gonna get, and we start walking back, and it's like, so Karl, what'd you want for lunch? Then he goes in, and I turn around and I walk all the way back to go and get lunch anyway, and a pizza or something. I don't know. I was going somewhere with this story, but
yeah, you bought me a Gorbis.
Oh yeah, and Karl, I was like, Karl, what do you want for lunch? He's looking at me going, no, I don't need to eat lunch. I got fish flakes. I got dried fish. I can eat that. I'm like, Karl, you're borderline anorectic at this point. You have to eat. No, but it's okay. You're going to eat fish, a little teeny bag of fish flakes at 8 o'clock. You know, most people would have eaten 3 or 4 times or at least 2 times by then. You're going to get something. I'll get a Gorbis. Thank you very much. So there you go. You had a, what is Gorbis? It's not a pizza. It's
a pierogi.
A pierogi, yeah. Yeah, so that's what he had. Something quick. What did I do? I have to watch my stitch here. Oh, yeah, no, I see what I did. We're going to have to show a needle binding stitch off while Karl goes and figures out what to do with that smell in the other room. I'm going to just finish my stitch here.
I am now very much assuming, because I got her toilet ready before YouTube, that she has actually used the toilet like a normal cat
instead
and not
of off
the
to
floor
the side.
like a psychopath. But I'm going to check that and have a cigarette.
Yeah, you can take that plate with you before she breaks it.
And I might yell at her a little bit if she used the floor.
So if we hear any swearing in the distance... Gorbis is so good, says Rudy Speed. Yeah, no, it is actually really good. Okay. All right, now let's see. We've got chocolate to stare at. I don't have wine from Audra right now. I do have some, but I stupidly stored it sideways in the fridge for the longest time, and it managed to settle that way, so I need to decant it before I can drink it. So it is now standing upright because I got good advice from Jay Von Altengart that says he makes beers and stuff. That he said, no, if you have it stand upright in the fridge for about a week or so, and then you can slowly decant it off into another bottle. Because I'm sitting there going, can I just dump it through a strainer? Nope. But anyway, I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so let's tilt this down, see if we can find a dirty table here. There we go, with some chocolate Vaseline and a beer. What a day we're gonna have. Okay. All right. For those of you who don't needle bind, you can discuss about the background. Okay, this is not an easy stitch, by the way. So I have to also do a shout out for Keila or Keila. Kaylee is her name. But Kaylee is also Keila, Keila, on Facebook or social media anyway, and she has a company where she's making nail binding kits and things too. But she posted one video before she went to the York Festival in York, England, and it went viral. And it didn't just go viral, but it like blew up. There's over 5 million views in just 2.5 days. And now there's like a sudden influx all over the place interested in needle binding. So I have to say, way to go. She was a little concerned that some of them were more focused on her fingernail than her Nalbinding, and we're like, no. I have always got dirt. I cannot ever seem to get it completely out of my fingernail. My skin's dry. Somebody's even sent me lotion once so I can. So I think the fact that her beautiful, pretty nails brought people or inspired them to actually look at the thing was a really good move. So I'm actually very jealous. But anyway, we've seen an influx in the Facebook groups and needlebinding and some other. There's like a huge, a very marked increase in interest. So she has brought the attention of our needlebinding to the attention of a lot of people that didn't know it existed. So which really big shout out to her. But holy crap, that's impressive. A lot of us have been doing this for a long time, and nobody's even hit 1 million on that. That's insane. But really good job for her, though. And that it's nice to see all the new attention. So there's a lot of new people on there. So new people on there, if you happen to be watching this, that's a mess up. What did I do there? Oh, no, that's my increase. Okay. This is not an easy stitch. This stitch is worked over 5 loops. The last 5 loops. So this is my working yarn. Take that out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's worked over all those loops, but we're picking it up on this side. So first I have to connect to 2 loops. I'm connecting from one new one and one old one just to make it a little bit more dense. And then after the 2 loops on your thumb, you're going to twist the third one. You're going to twist the third one this way. Like that. You can twist it first and then do your connection loops. Pick up that twisted one. Pick up 2 more behind, and you cannot mess up the order. And then go forward and take the 2 that were on your thumb and underneath the leader yarn. That's one way of doing it. If you saw me doing it in the background, that is not how I was doing it. Another option, but I wonder if I didn't screw up there. I actually did one screw up earlier, a couple of weeks ago, and we started it right there. But I decided to just kind of connect it and mow through it. It doesn't really show, but if you know where to look, it does. On the other side, it does there too. But this is just going to be a little pouch, so I thought, screw it. If it really bothers me, I might put a little embroidery there, but it looks like if I have a second one, I might have to do that too. But I think that's where I joined my yarn. Anyway, so another way of doing it, do not mess up your loop order. That's why that happens. Would be to do the connection. Pull it out of the way. Make sure you keep that yarn out of the way. Then you got 1, 2. Here's the third loop. I have to pick it up this way. There. That way and twist it. Then pick up the second and the third loop, which is actually way back here. Or the third and, no, sorry, 1, 2, 3. 4th and the 5th loop. But it's going to be, of all these loops, it's the 2 that are furthermost on the right. And then go forward underneath your 2 thumb loops. And the forward one, or in the leader yarn. That is one way to do it, but you got to make sure that you you don't cross the yarn here. I'll show you. Let's see. So if I do my gathering, if I pull it through, most stitches you won't do this. If I pull it through, I have to make sure that I don't do this. I have to get the yarn out of the way completely and then pick it up. So that would be the risk of doing it wrong if I did it this way. That would make a big knot and you'll never return to this stitch again. And we found out it's called a Joutseno. Isn't that right? I tried to try to internet pronounce that one. It's named after a find in Finland. Nothing to do with the Viking Age as far as I know, but there's so much we haven't found. But it is a really cool and dense looking stitch. I'm thinking Lucas is going to like this one because he's the one that had us doing the carboning stitch not too many months ago. I think it was December, maybe November. There you go. So third loop from that way. And then if you're going to make a chain in this stitch, it's actually really easy, or not really easy, but much easier to do a chain stitch because you have your 2 there, you pick up the third, twist, go through, and you keep going. But as soon as you connect, you're going to have a problem because you can't have your stitches and your needle in the stitches there and turn around and try to pick that one up. It won't work. You'll stretch out these ones. So that's why it's either you got to twist the loop first and do it. And the 2 behind, and the 2 forward. Or Put my 2 back on. Or you do this way. Keep that yarn all the way out of the way. And then scoop it up and do it. If you're doing it the way I'm doing it, it makes it really hard when you run out. When you have less than this much yarn on there, it's pretty tricky. So it's almost better to have too much yarn. But there you go. So that one. Next week we'll try to do something a little bit simpler, a stitch of the month. So if you don't know what the stitch of the month is, the idea is to just kind of get people to try new stitches instead of doing the same Oslo, York, Danish stitches all the time, or Coptic. Because there are many stitches out there, as there are ways to tie a knot. And if you connect it differently, that also changes the stitch. If I were to take this stitch and twist it this way, it would be a completely different stitch. Everything changes the way it looks, etc. So this is just a way to kind of inspire people to try more. So the idea then is you make something or you just try it in this stitch of the month, and you have the month to do it. And then we also add on the color of the month because everybody's got to have an excuse to use up leftover old yarn. So this time it is pink. And if you're not doing the needle binding, if you're knitting or you're painting or whatever, just do something with that color in it. It doesn't have to be purely pink. So next week we'll have a new stitch of the month and a new color of the month. And if you can't be asked to watch us for 2 hours and wait until I can be bothered to pull out the yarn, just look in the description and you'll find out what it is. There you go. Okay, I see I got Karl back now because I want to ask Karl another thing. We gave one more shout out in the description, and that was to Terje Lundberg. Yeah, Terje Lundberg is a friend of mine, my ex-husband. If you know the name Bium, he used to be the game designer for Anarchy Online for Funcom. And then there were 2 other games they had out at the same time. One was called The Longest Journey, and that was Gudvangen, who was the game designer of that one. And then we had Age of Conan, which was another big one from Funcom, and that one was head up by Terje Lundberg. But the Funcom moved out of the area. It went over to Canada or Denmark and onwards and different in the last 15 years. Terje Lundberg decided to stay into the gaming industry, but created his own business called Arctic Hazard. And they had been working on, ever since then, a game called Norse. And holy crap, they've been putting a lot of time and hours in it. It's been, we've had chances to sneak peek it along the way. I can see there's a lot of influences from Gudvangen on there. Just any Viking market, etc. But we even recognized that there was even some influence from Karl on there, whether it was actually Karl that influenced it or not, but I'm going to say it was.
It might be coincidental.
It could be coincidental, but it's a helmet that looks just like Karl's. Anyway, but Karl has been testing the game. It came out a couple days ago, finally.
Yeah.
What do you think? And first you got to explain what kind of game it is, because it's not like the ones that we're playing.
I think the best description is to say it's like a Viking XCOM.
What's an XCOM, if you don't know what that is?
Well, XCOM is a series of games about an alien invasion, but it's the way the game is set up, where you have one element of base building and kind of grand strategy, and one element of small units tactical combat.
Charge my phone. Yeah.
And it kind of works in a very similar way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it a lot. There are some things that smell a little bit reenactorism ish, like using the bloody holders on your drinking horn so you can put it down. But for the most part, I think the characters act pretty much as my mental schema of Vikings say they should act. And the gameplay, what little I understand of it, because I've been trying to play it for 2 days, and whenever I sit down at night, Keila is hyperactive. So she will run over my keyboard. How many times?
Oh God, he takes her down and she puts her up again. He just whoop, and he puts her down and she's like shoop. Then he puts her down over here and she goes whoop. He puts her down over here and she goes whoop.
So she had a very annoying tendency to skip the tutorials for me. So I'm trying to learn this game, and she skips the tutorial, and I go, okay, I apparently have to load the save game to find out how to deal with this. And then it turns out I have to kind of jump 50 minutes back in time to get to the same point in the tutorial. And that is if I do the gameplay correctly. And yeah, no, it's pretty deep.
Yeah.
Uh,
I remember you were thinking, I don't know, I'll be afraid because what if I don't like it? I'll speak my mind, you said, but you actually, you like it a lot.
Characters.
It's called Norse, by the way. Norse the game.
Certainly coincidental. But some of the characters in the game very much look and to a certain extent act like people I actually know.
Well, they're Norwegian.
Yeah, but I'm not saying any names here, importantly. But the married woman who hits on everybody but her husband.
Tell the spear thing. Or what was it? It was in the trailer, so you can't... It was something about the guy... well, there was a bunch of people that wanted to come and they wanted to stay, and first they said no. And then the woman's like, bunch of men here, Huzzy, shut up.
And he is basically saying something to the effect of, yeah, of course you would like that. And she says, well, your spear is
bent.
Bent and doesn't work properly. And he says, yeah, no, it just needs a little bit of attention. But
there's some grown-up humor in it.
Yeah, there is. But the characters are... there is one guy there with a spear.
Yeah.
That is... I would say it's either Reidar or his brother.
Oh, yeah?
I think that's coincidental. I'm pretty sure it has to be. But even the way he moves looks like Reidar.
Really?
Yeah.
Reidar, the guy who fell off the ladder and...
Yeah. Oh, he used to work here.
Oh, that's before pandemic.
Before pandemic, so he never was on YouTube. But
no.
he was a good guy.
He was fun. I braided his hair like this into his beard. He looked like a ram. It was so funny. I think I might have a picture of that on my braiding Instagram account that I haven't touched in.
Very tall, and he looks like a Viking. But he went from 0 to 100 when it comes to Viking experience extremely fast.
Yeah, he did, actually. We needed a guide.
His first guided tour was so bad that I just wanted to flunk him and never ever see him again.
Oh, he'd come over to the textile station and he would just let me do all the talking for him because he learned it really well.
But a week later, he is a very, very good guide.
Yeah, he's really good, actually. Very entertaining and yeah.
He's super enthusiastic about everything he does, and he has enough common sense to shut up and listen. So, yeah, no, I really liked him.
Yeah. So why is the character in the game resembling Reidar?
Same clothing.
Yeah?
Same hairdo. Same way of walking. I think it is a coincidence. I don't think anybody from Arctic Hazard was following Reidar around and going, what if we give him a spear and make these weird motions into a combat system? I don't think that happened, but if it happened, it wouldn't have been any better than what I actually produced.
But Terje did his homework. He was asking, he's like, do you have pictures and things of the constructions that you made? Because we don't know how Viking houses looked, and ours are pretty much a good guess as well based on foundations, because there are no standing Viking houses from the Viking Age. And they're all different based on the area that you're from too. For example, the ones from Denmark don't look anything like the ones in Norway, which don't look like the ones in Iceland anyway. But he wanted to get all these little details correct, so he's looking everywhere. So it wouldn't surprise me if that really cool helmet that the guy is wearing that looks a lot like your helmet, it wouldn't surprise me if you inspired it.
Identical to my helmet.
Exactly. And that's not a common helmet.
Down to the details. It's the Byzantine one where you hang the chainmail on the hook of the nose.
Yeah. And I might have sent him some photos too. I remember he was asking for some photos that he could use for reference. Not to copy it to look exactly the same, but he wanted to have things look as authentic as possible. You know, not just, we don't want to put horns on our helmets, but we want the clothing to look correct. We want the buildings material to look correct. Yeah. So there's a Reidar in the game. There's a Karl in the game. No.
Not really.
It's all going to be completely coincidence, but
it's also, it wasn't anywhere near as expensive as I thought it would be on Steam. I was expecting it to be in the 500 plus range, and I think it cost like 280.
Yeah.
So I haven't sunken that many hours into it yet, but from what I've seen, there is a lot more gameplay than what I have experienced so far, and I am thoroughly enjoying it.
Yeah.
So,
and you're not an easy critic.
No,
you've seen how he watches movies.
That was basically what I was saying, because they are doing two
Viking
things
TV movies
that they're trying to combine two things that I actually really do love.
Yeah.
I think I have like 1,500 hours on XCOM.
Oh, easily.
And I am a professional Viking, so my...
If it wasn't for YouTube, we wouldn't be social.
My demands for authenticity in the Viking game are probably a little bit higher than your average frog. But they seem to have managed it. And I like small unit tactics games like XCOM, Jagged Alliance, this sort of games. I can spend ungodly amounts of hours on it. And they haven't squiggle-fucked it.
Squiggle-fucked. That's a Karl word, by the way, if you haven't are familiar with Karl-isms. Squiggle-fucked is one...
Screwed up. Most
people say screwed up, messed up, but no. For some reason, Karl developed a squiggle-fucked, and it's never gets old. And you've been using that word for the longest time. So squiggle-fucked. How in the hell did you ever come up with squiggle-fucked?
I might have it from somebody, but I do not know.
I don't know. I've never heard... I mean, squiggle, for one, isn't... Where the hell did you go?
But it is kind of always understandable from context. And the way I use it, you probably get the idea that nothing should ever be squiggle-fucked. And if it is squiggle-fucked, that means that Karl is displeased with it.
Okay, I gotta catch up on some chat here now. I have completely showed all this Nalbinding and didn't even look to see if anybody had an issue with it. There was something... They don't have the same dialect, Karl. That was what Torben was talking about earlier. With the chief, when you were talking about the Chieftain Hall. Welcome to the Chieftain Hall. I am your dark elf for the evening. And then you said something, and he said, they don't have the same dialect, Karl. And then he said, I think this is Flister versus Sally.
It's...
what rifle? What caliber? Silenced or scope? It depends on the rifle.
It's Nord-Trøndelag being... Nordmøre being Trønders.
Is this why... Now, why would Torben take offense to such a comment?
I don't know, because he would be, I think... Okay, I am not familiar with this backwards part
Torben has
Norway.
the most unique Norwegian dialect I've ever seen.
Torben's dialect is Sogndal.
Yeah. But most people, when they see A with a circle over it, it's O, and it's like boat, po, whatever. But if you're going to say, I'm going to go on the boat, jeg skal gå på båt. Gå på båten. Anyway, but he would say, jeg skal pow, bow, bow. Yeah. It's the coolest thing. Anyway, so I guess he knows his dialects, and so he says they're two different dialects.
Also, the people of Sogndal have a unique way of pronouncing some numbers. So, 17 in ordinary Norwegian, nynorsk ordbokmål, is 17 or 17.
17, yeah. Yeah, that's what it said.
In Sogndal, it's 17.
Oh, that's new.
Not exactly.
New to me.
I'm pronouncing it wrong, but it is Saushan.
I just know that if it wasn't for his podcast, I may still not understand what he's saying.
When I went to school in Sogndal, I'm standing in line at the grocery store behind two guys from Haugesund. And they're buying some small knickknacks in the shop and putting them on the till. And the girl in the till says, "Det har vært 17 kroner." And they are looking at each other with immense confusion. And one of them says, "I don't understand what she's saying." And the other one says, "Me neither. Give her 50 and see if you get anything back."
By the way, Torben says, I don't take offense. Karl is just wrong.
Are we still talking about Nordmøre versus Trøndelag?
Apparently, this he just said now. No, but yeah, Torben had a podcast back in the pandemic called Quarantena Pills, which means quarantine beer. And I would listen to this because I was driving back and forth 6 hours twice a week to go from Oslo to Gudvangen, Oslo area to Gudvangen and back. So it was a great thing to listen to while driving back and forth. But I would have to play the same episode about 4 or 5 times, and they're absolutely flippin' hilarious. So you want to know what they're saying, but it took me a while to figure out the ow.
Nobody in the known universe can insult a bad bear like Torben.
Oh, I know. It's so good. So I really wanted to. So I was like, go back.
Like
okay. Pow is po. And
it's like an art form.
It is.
It's almost
Torben, you gotta come on YouTube again for us.
You should have enticed some of the more suspicious bear.
The chat is deciding the color of the month. You don't know what color it's gonna be until I announce it. They're making plans for March in here. It's kind of funny. You have to read the chat. Maggie says, by the way, squiggle fucked. Excellent word. It's a Karlism. Karl needs to make a dictionary. But Torben's up for it. You gotta come, Torben. We gotta have him on here. We gotta get some fucked up beer. No, actually, he's gonna have to have like 5 or 6 beers. He doesn't have to drink it all. He just needs to taste each one enough to give a critique. Like, we were doing shot glasses just so he could, people could...
Yes, but it's more fun if you're drunk.
Well, yeah, no, it is much more fun.
It's like, I know what this tastes like, but I still want to drink it.
Yeah. No, of course you want to drink it anyway, but I was just that maybe we have to get everything with a mango and a flower in it just to hear the critique. You don't even have to want to be interested in beer to hear the critique. It's hilarious.
Maybe Torben doesn't have a problem with that.
No.
Maybe it's just me.
So was it, was he a journalist once upon a time?
Torben?
Yeah.
Yes, he has been that
I believe
too.
he was, yeah. And what else was he critiquing to develop such a unique art form for really nailing into things he doesn't like? I mean, he'll compare things to the smell of a used baby's diaper after it ate a fistful of blueberries and milk. I mean, it was...
I think that's because he's a father.
Maybe that's true. But this was before he was a father, actually.
No.
No, when he was... you're right, he was a new papa at the time, the first one. Yeah, okay. Torben says, squiggle. Sounds like a tiny squig baby. A snotling's riding animal. Okay, what's a squig? For those who don't know what a squig is.
In Warhammer 40,000 orcs and grots, those goblins, are basically fungus-based organisms. The spores that causes orc outbreaks also causes outbreaks of squigs, which the orcs and the grots and the snotlings eat. The orcs will also eat the grots and the snotlings. The grots will eat the snotlings and the squigs. And you have a whole ecosystem as soon as these people land on your planet. And the more of them you get, the smarter they get, and you have a problem. So as soon as a planet gets the orc spores, you're never completely free of orcs. They will always be there in the dark corners waiting for you to slip up so that they can multiply and murder you.
No, the reason I'm having fun with the chat is because there's like 4 or 5 in there talking about different stitches of the month and a stitch choice to use next month and a color choice that they want to do it, and they're going back and forth and da-da-da-da-da. And then I make the statement that I did just now, and then Radisby says, yes, we don't know the color, Karin, but the more we say it, the more you get the idea in your head. I have the power to decide the stitch of the month.
But
you
are also a populist at heart. So if all of them say that the color of the month is going to be off-white,
they might get their way, but they don't need to know that they might get their way. But it is nice if you show up to YouTube on the live and chat and join in and like and subscribe. How many likes do I have? There's probably like 3. Then maybe you'll have some influence over my I can be bought.
Obviously, the stitch of the month is going to be the 248 Hungarian from behind.
I need to like my own video. I haven't done that
Scottish
yet.
Family.
There. Now there's 4 likes because I liked my own video. Sorry, the Scottish family. We don't have a Scottish family in needle binding. Oh my God, have you learned nothing? We're on like year 5 point something.
Are you telling me that the Hungarian 248 from behind is not in the Scottish family?
No, but that does sound like a game we'll need to play later. Jesus, Karl. I broke him. Not for kids. Not for kids. You know, we did think that would be a fun drinking game, though. Not for kids. Every time you hear the words "not for kids" in a YouTube episode, to take one.
That's suicidal.
That is very suicidal. Or every time Karl does this.
You tried that.
We did, actually. Oh, my God. It was just after the pandemic, or just before the pandemic, because Sophie was here. From England. Just before the pandemic, in the winter time.
It was in 2020, so it was between the...
Yeah, but it's like January. It was before the pandemic actually hit.
No, then it was 2021.
No, because we went into lockdown in March 12th.
Yeah, but Sophie didn't come until the pandemic.
Okay. Anyway, I might be remembering it wrong, but I refuse to admit it. So, the point I was going to make was, though, we were telling her that watching bad Viking movies with Karl is absolutely hilarious because he gets all, anyway, and then she wanted to know if he liked the Vikings TV series because she's new there, and every time somebody new comes, they're like, oh yeah, what do you think of the series? I really think it's great, the plot and everything. And then Karl does this. It just like literally looks like he's trying to suck a poop back up into his body. Anyway, anally, but I just thought I'd have to, not for kids. Anyway, so we decided that we had to watch an episode with this. So there's Sophie sitting on the couch, and Greg and the rest of us were all sitting there, and we didn't tell Karl the rules, but we decided, Runa was there too, by the way, and we decided every time Karl does this, we have to take a shot. Every time Karl bitches about something, we might have, or points out something that's inaccurate, we have to take a shot. And every time Karl goes on a fucking 5-minute rant and can't stop, we have to down the whole bottle. I think we made it through half an episode before we ran out of alcohol.
And obviously they show me the episode of Vikings where they are rowing the ships the wrong way around. It is... This isn't really something that is wrong with their knowledge about Vikings. This is something wrong with their knowledge about fucking boats.
See, this is what it looks like. It just keeps going.
Everybody who lives near fucking water. It doesn't even have to be the sea. It could be like Erie or Superior.
And his
that is
voice
almost
gets
like
higher.
A sea. Anybody who has rowed a fucking boat would understand that you're not doing this. Because it's fucking insane.
Tea.
You row like this. But somehow, these morons managed to put together a team of... I can see on the screen about 50 extras. I'm guessing there are more. Then assuming that there is a production team with cameraman and all this other bullshit, I'm guessing there is like 150 people watching this ship row the wrong way around.
Need some more.
And none of them goes up to the director and goes, this makes us look like stupid 4-year-old girls. Maybe we should have them turn around. Or maybe they did. And he just goes, no, for some stupid 4-year-old, that's the look we're going for her. Fucking balls!
Do you see? We couldn't even make it through half an episode. Now that would be one of those intentions where you have to just down. We never did schedule night 2. I think we were all too. Nobody actually could remember the previous night. Anyway, but yeah, no, it's rather entertaining. So Pruda has mentioned something that one of these days it'd be really fun to do, but I have no idea how the copyright would work. But literally, air an episode of something. We don't even have to watch what you're watching on the screen. We just need to watch your reaction to it.
Most of the time, that will probably be boring.
Well, because you'd be sitting here like this.
Like we just watched.
And then. Okay, what the hell? That's what you would be doing.
We just watched the Buffalo Viking movie.
Yeah, we did with the bush
and
horn helmet.
I can't comment the helmets every time they show up. Obviously, I will point them out the first time they show up. Yeah. But the rest of the movie is like, okay. And then suddenly, nothing happened. The kid shows up in full plate armor and wants to go to war. And they tell him to go back on the deck on the Viking ship.
Yeah.
And he goes back on the deck on the Viking ship and is never brought up again. That's the movie.
That's pretty much the whole movie.
It's...
I'm sorry, but PJ missed it. She looked away. Could you show how they were rowing again? You're welcome.
If you are weak-minded and you have to hit a specific target just exactly, then maybe when you're landing at the pier, I can accept you turning around in your boat and rowing like this. Having a whole fucking Viking ship full of men, individually all turns around, and then it's called scooting when you are kind of pushing your boat forward with the oars like this. First of all, the thing that holds the oars in place are absolutely not designed for this kind of bullshit. Secondly, you don't have anywhere near the power that you have when you do this. This is not something people do. It is... How would I put it? It's embarrassing in a way. It's like when you have good wind and you have a sailing boat and you decide to use your engine instead of your sails. Every one of the old guys will be looking at you going, yeah, this guy doesn't know what he's doing, does he? It's nuts.
Torben wants to know, if we back up a little bit, if I could let him pick the color of the month, ... And then Nikki goes on Schnozcumber green from the Warhammer paint colors or something, which is probably what Torben would do. So I think Nikki nailed that one. And Torben says, and refers to another one, Karl's sucking a poop back up into his body. Maybe that's why he spends so long on the toilet. The prairie dog. Like whack-a-mole. Not for kids. Not for kids at all. Holy crap. And then there's just like emoji laughing all over the screen. That's such a visual I didn't
need. Not my fault, but you're welcome.
No, I blame Torben for this one. Oh, that's such a... I wish I didn't have such a vivid imagination. Anyway, I'm going to try to read more comments, but there's some water in my eyes, so it'll take a second to clear. Radisby says, I'm not nearly as much an expert as Karl is, but this is the exact reason why I never watched the Vikings TV series. I gotta say, I did follow it along pretty well, but as soon as I saw them trying to make a hot air balloon with... with reindeer
this
fur.
Is the thing, because
I was done.
I watched the very first episode when it just came out. And in this episode, I'm watching Vikings arguing about what's to the west.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's just ocean. I have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
The place is called... is it Skagerrak? No.
Skagerrak, yeah. No, you mean where they live?
Yeah.
No, it's Kattegat.
Yeah, the place is called
There's
Kattegat,
no land in Kattegat.
which is a piece of sea. They are talking like they live in Denmark because apparently Estonia, Lithuania, and Latvia is right east of them. So they go east to ride, and they're wondering if there is something to the west. The landscape is like Gudvangen, so there is absolutely no way that this is Denmark.
It was a hot air
So
balloon.
if you are actually in Norway, which the landscape says that you are, then to the east of you, you have Sweden, which is not what you are riding. So what are we talking about here? then you have a sequence where a woman is home alone and somebody comes over to do nasty stuff to her. And she pulls a sword. Under her cooking pot, there is a sword in the fire for some reason. And when she pulls it out, it's white hot. It's... To get the sword to be white hot, you have to heat it up to above 1200 degrees.
So much more than you can get in a regular little kitchen fire.
What the hell are you cooking at these temperatures? So I watched the episode and I go, okay, they fail in history, geography, and physics. Fuck it, I'm done. I'm not watching this anymore. But then I see people are super enthusiastic about the series. So I'm thinking, okay, I watched the pilot episode. Maybe they improved. Maybe they got some kind of idea of what the hell they were doing. Maybe the other episodes are better. So I'm actually kind of positively inclined when they come and bushwhack me into seeing this episode. And I go, holy fuck, they're not even trying. You don't even have to get an expert. You just have to get somebody who's not a complete idiot. Reidar, the guy who knew nothing about the Viking Age and also doesn't come from the coastal area of Norway.
Same guy that fell off the ladder, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they had chosen him, he would correct them on things they are doing wrong before we taught him how to be a guide. It is so bad that it is very obvious to me that they're not even fucking trying.
Yeah.
So, some tiny little things that would make me more happy with them. And holy fuck, there is a lot to be done in this department. But just have one guy at one point in your entire bloody series use a shield correctly for 2 seconds.
Yeah, okay, so explain, you know, to the ones that don't carry a shield around with them every day. What is the wrong way to use a shield?
The shield is not a counterweight. And the shield, the purpose of the shield is to act as a barrier between you and your opponent. So it kind of follows from straight up common sense that most of the time the shield should be between you and your opponent. Not on your back. Not a skateboard you used to get down the stairs, Legolas.
That was a cool shot, though.
And not something you just mysteriously lose every time you're actually fighting Boromir.
Now, but you're into the Lord of the Rings, though.
Yes, but
yeah,
with the exception of fucking Troy, of all movies, in Troy, you will see correct uses of shield sometimes. They are not great, but at least there are some things they do that actually make sense and you actually would do if you were in a fight with a shield. Most of the time, they manage to lose it there too, but as far as a somewhat correct representation of shield usage in ancient warfare, Troy is as good as it gets. Nobody manages to do this correctly, because they have for some reason just decided that shields are boring, so make sure that they do not have a shield at any point in any fight whatsoever.
So I believe there was actually an episode in Viking.
13th Warrior, there is one sequence where they are actually kind of doing something with shields. What they are doing is stupid, but it isn't thereby said that it is unauthentic. Because there are references to this in some of the sources.
Mm-hmm.
In the holmgang between...
What's a holmgang if you don't know what a holmgang is?
It's a duel. It's sanctioned, usually... It's like a judicial duel.
Okay.
You're accused of something, you have to fight a guy to decide, the gods will decide who wins the battle, and the gods will decide thereby who's right.
Is it to the death necessarily?
Not necessarily, but one of the rules in, I don't remember the source here, but in one form of holmgang, you fight until you have spent 3 shields, or until somebody is bleeding. This bleeding might be because your head is cut off, and it might be because you got a small cut on your pinky. But both of those would end the duel. You're done. If your head fell off, then you're very done.
Just poke the ocarinas.
But also, if you manage to fight until you have broken 3 shields, you are clearly not afraid. You are clearly not a coward. So you can end Holmgang and kind of walk away with honor. And I think in the 13th warrior, there's something like that they are trying to do. So one of the warriors pretend to be much weaker than he is until he wants to kind of make a point, and then he just cuts his opponent's legs off and murders him spectacularly. Every piece of kit in that movie is horribly wrong, and there is a lot of other things wrong with it. But it's kind of...
The 13th Warrior is a guilty pleasure, though. That's actually pretty
that's
good.
kind of the words I would use for it. Because
Antonio Banderas is a Viking.
some of
Ibn Fadland.
Some of the shit they are doing is straight out of Ibn Fadland, and some of it, and I have used some other sources to get some things right. But I would love to have a long discussion with the person who's in charge of their costume department, preferably where he is blindfolded and I have access to an enormous amount of stinging nettles. Because it is absolutely horrible. They are using scale mail. And I'm not saying that the Vikings didn't do that, because they might have. The technology exists. The Romans used it. But they're using scale mail with scales the size of roofing tiles. So they're like this.
Slates.
Who in the flying fuck would walk around with something like that?
Notice the pitch. Sorry, yes?
It's not functional. That's the issue I have with it.
Rudy Smith says, oh yeah, Albert says, worst part is that they started on the History Channel. Yeah, okay, so I could watch Vikings TV series, and I did. I watched it for at least 5 years before I kind of had too much, and yeah, the hot air balloon, oh my god. Anyway, but because I wasn't looking at it as historical perspective, but rather just as something entertaining. But I agree, if you're gonna put it on the History Channel, then it should be...
I would say if you call it Vikings, it should have something to do with Vikings. It shouldn't be fantasy.
Unless you want to, commit a complete assault to Karl's...
The moment you use somebody's name...
Like Ragnar?
Yes, he's mythical, so you can fuck around with him a little bit.
Yeah.
But the amount you can fuck around with somebody like Harald the Finehaired or Ivar the Boneless is a lot less, because they are a lot more historical. And I'm not even going to go into the Håkon Sigurdsson Jarl is now a black woman thing. But you have to understand that this doesn't even have a theoretical chance of being factually true. Among the many things we know about this particular guy is that he very, very clearly was a man. Because one of the things that basically costs him the power as a king of Norway is that he has an insatiable appetite for banging the daughters of his closest friends and allies.
Good times.
Pretty sure he wasn't a black woman. And I also, if he was, I would probably have mentioned that in the sagas.
Torben continuing on in the and the turtle head goes back inside. Not for kids, unless you don't know what the turtle is. Okay, anyway, Nikki says, Karl would love my husband, can talk about boats and good wind all day. Oh no, there was another one I was getting in here too earlier. Yeah, back to Karl. Yeah. Then he goes on, to say, let's see, oh yeah, another idea for color was Vaseline yellow, says Torben. And then, I couldn't watch that series, says Maggie, but it would be fun to watch with Karl rants. PJ says, Torben, so yellow Vaseline will post, but not if it's chocolate. Then let's see. Peruta says copyright allows for reviews, which that would be.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I don't know. We'd have to do the green screen thing, or just leave the TV in the background and just, not be able to see a screen, and you just going.
I'm not sure about this, because the laziest form of content is your typical reaction channel.
Was that pop culture? No.
It's I don't think listening to me going off on Vikings TV series for 45 minutes or however the long an episode is would actually be interesting for anybody. There would be some moments that would be entertaining, but most of the time it would just be me sitting like this.
Maybe that's one of those things whenever we get our shit together and actually post videos instead of just doing live. Maybe we could do something like that, but let's see. It's a lot of commitment to do all that, though. It's a bit for us to just run home once a week and do this live, which is a lot of fun, and we get a lot of social out of it, so that's good. And we're very trained now after almost 5.5 years anyway. But to actually go home and do homework and edit and plan and now you're asking for a lot. No, we need to do that, but there's a lot of stuff we need to do. I was going to say, but that actually could be a fun one to do, though. Just kind of record in advance and just like fast forward, and then Karl blows up again. Readysby says, so what you're saying is Viking is so fucked that it shouldn't be watched as a historical drama show as intended, but would be way better to watch as a comedy show. Yeah.
I think
not as a comedy, but depends on if you're like him, yeah. But
it would even file at that.
I thought it was entertaining for a while, though.
The only thing I can say is that I see it's popular. So it hits...
It is.
It scratches some kind of itch somewhere. It's just that I don't have this body part that is itching on people that makes them want to watch it.
Two of their actors in the village right now, actually, but they're not the main characters. It's on Dark Skulls. All they have to do is look it up.
Yes, and Ligan Pavlas acted in it, but I don't.
But they were extras. Yeah, they were extras. Yeah. No, this was Björn Ironside's wife. Is one of them. Anyway, but she doesn't look the same because she doesn't. It's not made up the same with the hair and everything. Shield blocks seeing the faces of expensive actors like Helms and all the other useful things. Bad for cameras. Sadly, yeah, you get really bad results, says Maggie.
Yeah. No, but the thing with the shield is that the shield doesn't have to hide your face, except for in very short moments. There are so many really cool techniques you can do with the shield. So, if that took the bother of sitting down with somebody who knew their stuff. I'm not tooting my own horn here, and there are people who knows a lot more about this than me. But I could give them a lot of good battle sequences that involve a shield and still look spectacular and impressive.
They were doing fight scenes today. You should have done it. Did you see any of the fight scenes?
I have nothing to do with the film.
No.
We Viking village to work in.
No, we don't. I was making a joke of a comment. You can't even see what they're. All you hear is grunting and groaning.
No,
I swear they're fighing. Anyway, but you can't see. It's a house in the way.
I have an actual job to do, so I'm not messing with that.
No. But there was some more in here too. Yeah. Now, Vikings is a fantasy show, says Lindsay. Norseman was a comedy. Yeah. And then there's another one saying, oh, I forgot about Norseman. Norseman? Okay, no, you don't want to sit... That one, I tried to show you that one to see what you thought, because that was the one that was in Norwegian. They filmed a Norwegian, and then they filmed English right after each other and kind of launched them both at the same time.
I know.
So they would do one line, they would do one scene in Norwegian, they'd immediately reshoot it in English with their, their Norwegian dialects and everything. That one is fucking hilarious. I mean, I don't care if there's anything accurate or not, because it's meant to be.
It's more accurate than Vikings.
Yeah, that's what you were saying too, which I thought was kind of fun. But it's a pure example of true Norwegian humor. Things like well, when they're coming on the boat, for example, you got the guy from Rome that just get kidnapped, and he wants to. Or not kidnapped, but he's on the boat and he's rowing, and he said, what do you mean we're not getting paid? Did you hear they said that we're not going to get paid? And they kind of go on, and it's a lot of like Norwegian. Another thing with Norwegian humor is they have committees for everything. They would have a committee to discuss about a meeting that they're going to have in the future. This kind of thing, it plays on this kind of humor and applies it to Viking life. Like one guy has to get back. He said, I got to get back. I got my kids at the Barnahog. I got to pick up.
But
the
even
kindergarten.
with all this bullshit, they are still more authentic than Vikings.
Yeah, but it's absolutely wonderful. I wish they would make some more of those, but I think they only made the two And I believe pandemic hit. If it was before or after the pandemic, I can't remember, but oh, it would be awesome. I can't remember if there's 2 or 3 seasons, but that one is hilarious anyway. And I like the female character that plays not Lagertha, but basically the Norseman's version of Lagertha, with all the dried up penises ringing around her neck from the guys she killed. It's just funny. Not for kids. You can't really tell that they're penises either. Believe me, I've looked. Okay. So the directors cut off Karl rants. Yeah, no, we can't, we'll have to be quiet in the village when they're filming anyway, but to be honest, they're usually in a different end of the village, so we can't see or really hear anything anyway, but, let's see. Redisby says, but the History Channel has ancient aliens and stuff on there as well, right? So they haven't been about history in a long while. Yeah, no, that makes me think they should change the name of the channel, to be honest.
Well, TLC is still the learning channel, even though all they do is reality TV.
Yeah, now they do, but they didn't used to in the beginning.
History Channel used to be the Hitler channel because they only had documentaries about World War II.
That's true.
Then they turned into the Alien Channel, and from the idea that the pyramids were built by aliens, Vikings TV series is actually a step in the right direction. But holy fuck, what a little step.
Let's see. I will point, Lindsay says, I will point out that the Vikings show was a major boost for Vardruna. Oh yeah, and you got Einar Selvik is singing, and Einar Selvik is the lead of Vardruna's group, the head of Vardruna's group, and does most of the vocals except for the female ones, of course. He's actually from not too far around here, and he used to come to the market all the time back when we had a market. Now we've too many people to have a market, but yeah,
but that really doesn't have anything to do with the price of eggs.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with the price of eggs, but yeah, no, he boosted. But I don't know if it was so much the Viking series that boosted him because it wasn't the opening song is not theirs. That's a different band. That's actually a Polish band, I think it is. But then they started playing songs from Vardruna, but it wasn't just Vardruna that it kicked up. It kicked up. There was a huge increase in the Viking reenactment community when that series started coming out. More and more people getting interested into it. More and more people showing up to markets. It just doubled. I mean, and we went from a market with like 40 Vikings representing to a market with 600 Vikings represented in a very short period of time. And that was also the same time that Einar Selvik exploded. Yeah. He used to come every year, but now he's got such a busy schedule anyway. So he'll sneak by once in a while. He was through the village last year, but he's got such a busy schedule now. We had him play in the village a couple times in the very beginning too, but not anymore because it's just too expensive.
If somebody pays his price, I can have him, but it's
a really good guy, by the way. Anyway, point I was getting at, it was just like the Vikings TV series, no doubt in my mind, whether you agree with it or not, gave the whole Viking thing a boost, which actually helped give Nalbinding a boost too.
To some extent, we probably have a hell of a lot more freemen, and we definitely have some more tourists, but I could have done without it. Because we would still, we are already at the pain threshold when it comes to how many tourists we can handle.
Yeah, no, that's why we can't have markets right now, a market anymore, because it's just not space.
It's a waste of time anyway, because we're not making money on it. But
where would you park? I mean, it's everything from.
Yeah, but
sorry, continue.
It's not the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
What we now have to do with basically any tourists who come through the door is that we first have to unlearn all the bullshit they got from this TV series, and then we have to try to give them the correct.
Ragnar and Rollo really brothers?
Then we have to give them the correct information to some extent.
That's true.
And one thing that the TV series definitely did, and this I will give them some credit for, it seems to be incredibly super popular in the Middle East. So
yeah, actually.
I had a very interesting conversation with a Saudi Arabian guy. He told me that, it was my dream to come here and see all this, because I didn't know that any of this existed. But then I was watching the Marvel movies, and I have Thor and Loki. And then I was watching this Vikings TV series on History Channel. And then I noticed that the people in the Vikings TV series were worshipping Thor. So I was wondering, isn't this supposed to be a long time ago? Are they watching Marvel movies? What's going on here? So then I sat down with Wikipedia and I found out it's a whole religion. So I started reading about it and now I'm hooked. So I go, okay, that's nice. And when I did the guided tour and I took him down to the gods, he knew more about the gods than I do because he was just eating it up.
Yeah.
And so some good comes of it, but it's, if you want to make an interesting set of stories from the Viking Age, you already have the stories. They're called the sagas. You don't have to mess with them to make them better or more politically correct or more fancy, because they're already close to goddamn perfect as they are.
Chocolate.
Do you in any way improve the story about Håkon Sigurdsson Jarl by turning him into a black woman and then ignoring everything else about him except for his name?
That wasn't on the Vikings TV series, though.
It's Vikings Valhalla.
Okay. Oh, that's right. They have a new one. I didn't watch that.
It's also, you take people's names and turn them into entirely different characters than they were. I'm tempted to say historically, but at least in the sagas, that is as close to historically as we are going to get when it comes to these people. What you could do, and this is done brilliantly in the TV series Rome.
Oh, that was a good series.
Instead of taking super famous characters that have their own sagas, make some shit up and use the saga characters as characters in the background. Don't make it about I forgot his name. Main character of Vikings is
Ragnar.
Ragnar Lundberg. Don't make the series about Ragnar Lundberg. Make it about Uttar Beaver Butcher or whatever the fuck.
You said Beaver Butcher?
Yeah. And make him a kind of acquaintance of Ragnar, so that they occasionally meet up and talk, and he occasionally follows Ragnar around on his adventures, but nobody cares if you mess up the story of Uttar the Beaver Butcher.
Otter the Beaver Butcher?
This is what you should do, honestly. So the guys in the TV series Rome, Titus Pullo and Quintus Verinus, those names are from Caesar's book on the Gallic Wars. And he just has this quick story about these two guys who are both centurions who dream about being first centurion. And then they are besieged by Gauls in one of these Roman overnight camps. And they hate each other because both of them wants to be primus pilum, the first centurion of the legion. And they are competing basically on being the bravest and the toughest, most badass centurion. And one of them jumps out of the overnight camp and just starts murdering Gauls. The other one is sitting inside the camp and going, fuck. On the one hand, I hope he dies. But on the other hand, that's pretty brave, and I can't be any more of a coward than him, so I should jump out and help him. One of the Gauls manages to nail his shield to his belt. So the first guy is basically stuck, he can't move his shield around, and the other guy comes out and helps him. And these two guys who hate each other end up murdering a lot of Gauls and then going back to their camp and are pretty proud of themselves. That's all Caesar says about Titus Pullo and Quintus Verinus. So in the actual history, both of them are centurions, and this is all we know about them. They hate each other, but they accidentally help each other because both of them are super ambitious. But then in the TV series, they make them into Lucius Verinus, this super stoic, traditional Republican Roman. and Quintus Polo, this patrician with kind of a self-serving populist view of things. And they are friends, but they disagree about basically everything in Roman politics. So in the first season, both of them are kind of friends of Caesar, but peripheral friends, mostly friends of Octavian. And in the second season, one of them becomes a close supporter of Marcus Antonius, and the other one becomes a close supporter of Octavian. So you have them in the periphery of the life of Octavian, Marcus Antonius, Julius Caesar. Titus Pullo actually murders Cicero. It's brilliant, because we know that Cicero was murdered on the orders of Marcus Antonius. We just don't know who murdered him. So obviously, if Titus Pullo, the brutal drunken legionary, isn't a close friend of Marcus Antonius, then it makes perfect sense that he sends him to murder Cicero. And then I have this little talk in Cicero's garden about, are you absolutely sure you have to murder me? Sorry, I really don't have a choice. Your plums are really good, by the way. Yes, eat as much as you want. May I write some letters before you murder me? Yeah, of course, no problem. Okay, are you done writing now? Stab! It's fucking brilliant. And you could do something like this for Vikings too. You don't have to mess with people and take the actual history and fuck it up to a knot that is completely decipherable for anybody who actually knows the actual history. Because when I watched the TV series Rome, and not to toot my own horn too hard, but I have kind of a vague idea about what went on in the late Republic of Rome. There is very, very little I can put my finger on and go, that's wrong. There are a few things, but it's minuscule. In episode 1 or 2, one girl reads a poem that won't be written for another 60 years. But for all I know, maybe Virgil just took the Aeneid and stole it from something that was common knowledge, and he was just the guy to write it down. So I'm willing to even let that slide. And that's the level of minutiae I have to go into to catch them in something wrong. So it's like a perfect example of how to do it in a series that is cancelled after 2 seasons. And an absolute travesty of shit that just keeps going forever. It drives me bananas.
I'm having fun watching the chat. Who's Beaver, Karen? But the otter beaver butcher must know how to boat correctly, and then stab, and then horn. He sounds like a klaxon horn. Hence Karl, born with a beard, smoking and carrying a book about the Roman Empire. Our empire. Yeah, see, no, I bet you didn't know he knew just as much about the Roman Empire as he does about Viking Age. But yeah, no, kick back, have some popcorn. We can go for a 3rd hour. What the hell? Otter the Beaver Butcher. I'm sorry, I still can't get past that. Where the fuck do you get this shit?
If somebody crowdfunds it, I'll write the script.
I want to hear the story of Otter the Beaver Butcher.
Otter the Beaver Butcher.
I want to. Sorry, Otter the Beaver Butcher. I want to hear. Will Odd Seaman play a role in this movie?
Don't think so.
No, just Otter the Beaver Butcher, but not Odd Seaman.
Yep.
Okay, but who else will we have in this? You should write books, Karl.
I'm going to have a cat fight.
Yeah, we're gonna have a cat fight real soon. Rudisby says, one would think that hiring an expert in historical garments and stuff would be way easier than just making shit up all the time and be really inconsistent about it. There was the movie, what the hell was the one with the Knapp like your game? It came out not
it's
too
also called Northman, I think.
I think it's called Northman, yeah.
Because they call everything Northman.
Yeah,
the
they call it.
Buffalo Horn thing is called Northman.
But that one
the game I'm playing is called Northman.
Yeah.
The Norwegian comedy bullshit is called Northman. So it's if you don't know what else to call it, just call it Northman to be on the safe side and confusing.
Yeah, but that one's Northman. But that one actually they used quite a bit of focus. They called in quite a few people to get the garments in.
See that.
I still have not seen it. I gotta say,
But
and it's not for any bad reason that I haven't seen it. I just haven't gotten around to it.
The cover art on the box is a guy looking depressed, wearing what looks very much to me like a leather loincloth.
Well, is it? But they had like a whole. I mean.
Yep.
Yep. No, the cats went just nuts. One might have still smelled like fish. I don't know.
Both of them look kind of fishy.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen Fuzzy looking this angry since.
Fuzzy's got his whole head stuffed in like Jabba the
Hutt. His ears are pointing downwards now.
Yeah. I could turn the camera, but as soon as I do, he's gonna. And he's just winking at her and shaking his tail a little bit on the end, like. Anyway. Let's see. Yes, please. We need the saga of Otter the Beaver Butcher, says Maggie. I want to hear the saga. Can you have this ready next week?
Theoretically, yes. If the quality of Vikings TV series is what I'm competing against, then
yeah.
But no.
Let's see. Odd Johnson and the Seamen surely must have a central role in the Karl Ordal saga. Odd Johnson. Johnson anyway, but Odd Johnson, the Seaman surely must have. Johnson, the Seaman. That's better when you say it in English, actually. Odd Johnson, the Seaman. Must have a central role in the Karl Ordal saga. Oh, God, you could write books. I mean, they'd be like 3 million pages long, but it would be, I mean, here we are sitting well over 2 hours now, by the way. I was showing Lisa this, and she's just like, I just wanted to show her one thing. I wanted to show her the quilt that my mom made that was in the background. And she's going, do you guys do this for like 2 hours? I'm like, yeah, never underestimate the boredom of winter. It was just, I said in the summer, it's like an hour, but no, we just, thank you for keeping us entertained. Anyhow, no, it's a lot of fun. Chat will boycott it otherwise, says Redisby about the Odd Johnson Seaman. Torben says Otter the Beaver Butcher and the game he played, Volume 1. You can go on forever and ever and ever. Yeah, I did. The Northman movie. Yeah, Purdue was asking if Mona worked on that. There's a lot of people. They asked, for example, they were going, I mean, who looks at the socks of the person in the movie? And they were actually trying to find people to make null-bound socks for them. Unfortunately, there's no way in hell I'm going to make socks for a movie that cheaply. They wanted something like 15 pairs of socks anyway, that to be null-bound into the... Nope, you'd have to pay me a lot more to want to make those socks. But they did find some. I think Mona might have made some. I know Runa made some. There were people that were sewing for it. There were also people that were there for, I think Artie Patterson worked on it a bit, or helped out. There was a lot of people anyway that gave in some feed for that. Okay, anyway, so their gear should look really cool. I just have never actually got around to watching that, but I need to do that. Okay, so I have lost so much on here. On the chat, but you got to go back and watch the chat, because the chat is absolutely hilarious. Everything from trying to get Torben to pick out which color of the month we're going to have next week based on his favorite Warhammer color, to which stitch we should use to, Otter the Beaver Butcher. Nikki says, get the actors to learn to make their own socks more hysterically accurate. Oh, that more hysterically accurate would be better. Yeah, it was maybe that was a Freudian slip, but no, it's so damn time consuming. But yeah. Anyway, no, I think the filming wraps up tomorrow, so then things will turn back to normal soon back in the village. But we have a lot of people coming through. We had probably at least 50 people through the door within an hour's time.
Yeah, but that's normal.
That's nice to see. Yeah, no, there's lots of people anyway. We had a lot of new snow on the ground. It's slippery as hell. I slid a few times. Anything else new this week? Just another day at the office?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. And then there's Albert saying, oh yeah, how are my socks going, Karen? Yeah, no, so I remember why we haven't talked about socks on here.
You know what? When I actually make socks, you're gonna be. I think there's still the second one in line. I still have to finish. Whose socks was it? Oh, that's so good. I got such a good track of the. Ivan's Agebrot, and I have his socks. They were half done somewhere, and then they got packed away somewhere. Now I got to find them and finish them, and it's gonna be a while. So do they film everything with lights or just in the 20 minutes of sunshine? No, they are filming night and day and everything. It's but sometimes they'll have extra lighting on the outside or whatever. But it's a lot of equipment. Anyway, Karl?
Yes?
Do we have any plans for next week? Are you out of food options? I mean, assuming the water starts to run again?
We are out of microwavables.
We're out of Norwegian tradition microwavables, yeah.
Here.
In Norway, in Gudvangen.
Specifically, yes.
Yeah. They can't hear you so well when you're behind the camera.
When I went to Voss, I saw some more, but I didn't know exactly how much money that toy was going to cost me, so I didn't buy any of it.
Ah,
but
okay.
I know there is more available in Voss that we haven't tried.
Really? That's Norwegian?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, because I've seen everything from Thai to Asian to Mexican and everything, but okay. Is there anything more down the canned food category? Because we got to go for like the really high quality Norwegian food here.
You're trying very slowly and incrementally to get me into making actual proper food, and I'm not playing that game. You're sticking to the microwavables.
The Romans would have done it.
The Romans would have slaves to do it.
Otter the beaver butcher would have done it himself. Come over here and say goodbye.
Otter would have gotten whoever's beaver he lost butchered to do it for him.
Not for kids. Come here and say goodbye, Karl. Albert says, I've only been waiting for 6 years. What? That's actually not... I don't know what he's talking about. Come here. Come here. Say goodbye. And say goodbye in the way that Odd the Beaver Butcher would have said it.
Don't know yet.
Really? You have to stew on this for a little bit? How about Odd Johnson Seaman? Odd Johnson Seaman. I want you to write this book. Put it back, Karl!
Hold on.
No.
That's how he would do it.
That's how he would do it. So, definitely 7 o'clock. 6:30 was no way going to happen today. I think we got home at like 6:30. So,
Yeah.
7 o'clock Saturday.
6:26 we were home.
Yeah, 6:26. So that's why I got to link up so late and everything too. Have you tried out the knitting machine, by the way, Karin? I'm sitting on it. No, it's a huge thing to set up. I want to do it. It's just right up there with the warp weighted loom. It's a lot to set up. I think the setup alone would take a while, but I need to. And Torben says he wants to know how Hallgrim would say goodbye.
Oba.
Oda. Okay, no, but anyway, next Saturday, 7 o'clock. Okay, we gotta go because I gotta feed him because the beer's gone. Prairie dogging and sucking. Bye!
Bye.